and welcome to this NGI Atlantic webinar dedicated to the third open call and to our twinning lab. There are a few members already in the webinar, so I think we can start. So I leave the floor to Jim Clark, the coordinator of the NGI Atlantic initiative. Jim, floor to you.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you everyone for joining today, and Happy New Year to you all. So our agenda today is fairly packed with some nice things. So first, I'll give a short introduction and overview of our Open Call 3. Then Sarah will present the benefits of being involved in our twinning lab, which is used for matchmaking EU-US teams for collaboration within the open calls. And then we're going to have two presentations from two of our previous call winners to give some insights into their experiences, and these insights will hopefully help you with your applications. And then we have some twinning lab participants who would like to share their information and some potential project ideas. And then we're going to have a visual collaboration session to discuss some potential topics and any other items up for discussion. Okay, so I'll first start now by just explaining a little bit about the Open Call 3. Just in general, the project itself, which I'm sure you're all aware of, we're going to have 5 open calls in total, with a total of 2.8 million euros specifically for the open calls. The project sizes are either a short-term 3-month or longer-term 6-month, with a maximum funding range of 50,000 to 150,000 for ST and LT respectively. And the evaluations are carried out by our EPE, external pool of evaluators, and we have 50 plus members that support each of the open calls process for review. Two out of our 5 have been completed, and our third call is ongoing and will finish on the 26th of February 2021. The topics for the Open Call 3, we've actually increased the topics in case you are already involved or have seen the first 2 open calls. We had twofold coverage, one category covering EU-US experimental platforms interconnection. So this is for already established and mature platforms and facilities on both sides of the Atlantic that want to interconnect with each other and be available for future experimentation in NGI areas. And then key enabling technologies such as AI, IoT, cybersecurity, blockchain, et cetera, in a number of the different priority topics identified by the NGI initiative. So in the first 3 open calls, we covered the sort of 3 initial topics: privacy and trust enhancing technologies, decentralized data governance, discovery and identification technologies. And in this third open call, we've now widened the topics to also include strengthening internet trustworthiness with electronic identities, and a topic on greening the internet, a sustainable and climate-friendly NGI. So just can you go back to that slide for one moment, Christina?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. So just I have a note there that's quite important, that new innovators not already involved in NGI projects are also welcome. So we're not just funding projects that have already been funded by these by our sister RIAs in these topics. We are open to all, and we're open to both ones that have been funded who want to team up with a US partner to do some experimentation of their results, but at the same time we're open to other EU innovators that were not already involved in other NGI projects. Okay, thank you. Next slide. The other thing I want to point out here is we're trying to increase the number of stakeholders involved. So in this open call, we're being a little more selective and expressing some indications as to the types of projects we would like to fund. So I'm sure you've seen this in previous H2020 projects where the Commission have a little section at the bottom of the call text which specifies the types of projects and the size of projects. So what we have done here is we have spent quite a bit of time with our project team and also our external advisory group looking at the different topics. And so, as I mentioned in the previous slide, we have the two categories, one on the experimentation interconnection, and then also on the 5 topics. Okay, then we've, as I mentioned, we have the two funding ranges for the long-term and short-term projects. So that's the same as the first 2 open calls. Now, where it gets a little bit different here is we're looking at funding in category A, the EU-US experimental platforms interconnection. We would like to have minimum of 2 proposals with a clear center of gravity in this category. And we recommend, because they're already mature experimental platforms that will be involved, we're recommending that they use a short-term type, so a 3-month proposal with the 25,000 to 75,000 range. Now, we do put in a caveat here that if an experimental platform EU-US team already knows about a project team looking at a category B topic, they could join up and they could become a bigger project, so an LT type. And in that case, we would be funding 1 in that category. Okay, then in category B, we've decided that we would like to have at least a minimum of 2 projects in the topic on greening the internet topic, and we would like to see 2, and again on the short-term level, so a 3-month project on this. And then the remaining categories 1 to 4, we would like we have an expectation of 3 small-term projects and 1 long-term project funded. And again, as I said before, that this long-term could be a combined project concerning the category A and category B. Okay, and then on the right side, we have the total budget for the call, 600,000, and we've broken it up based upon the expectations that I just presented. So please look at this quite carefully when you're deciding on your project size and project budget. Okay. In terms of the application process itself, for those that are new to it, it's all done online in the Trust grant platform. And in terms of the size of it, when it's eventually printed out into a description of work, it's maximum of 6 pages. So it's not, the typical 50 to 70 page proposals that you might be used to. So it's not as onerous in that respect. The templates are all available online. The link is given below. I just want to point out that the EU-US team must submit a declaration of honor, which is signed by the EU coordinator, and a letter of support from the US partner, which can be signed by the principal investigator from the US, is included as part of this declaration of honor. So this is something that's new, which I'll describe a little bit more in detail later. It's one of the new features that we have because there was some difficulties in the past in getting the letters signed in the US in time for the application to be submitted. So we've changed the process a little bit here. And again, all of these documents can be downloaded, so please download these. In terms of the evaluation, we have it's a very similar process to what is followed in H2020. We have 3 independent evaluators from our external pool of evaluators. They do their individual evaluations, and they have a, it's based on the 4 criteria. Then the weighting is applied to that. And then they each generate their evaluation summaries, and then a rapporteur who's selected from that group of 3 works together or to come up with a consensus summary report. They have a consensus meeting or meetings to discuss these, and then we have an independent quality controller selected from the external pool of evaluators per application, who then does a quality check on the proposal, and then the consensus summary report is available at that point. Okay. Now I just want to point out here, there could be some good news coming down the track. We don't have it in writing as of yet, but there is some discussions going on that the National Science Foundation is looking to become more involved in the project, in the NGI Atlantic project with us. And if that does happen in time for the 3rd open call, we will probably have an additional step, which is that the National Science Foundation will be involved with us in just you know, overseeing the process, and then they will have their own process, which will be done alongside our process. But this is all something, it's preliminary, and we can't really go into any details, but I just wanted to quickly mention it here today. Okay. So now I turn it over to my colleague, Sarah, who will discuss the benefits of the twinning.
Yeah, no, we're going now through a quick overview of the Twinning Lab and why it can be useful for all of you. So what's the Twinning Lab? It's a space. Christina, if you can move on the slide. It's a space we have available on the NGI Atlantic website for researchers, innovators, and startups. So those that are the eligible actors in the NGI Atlantic open calls to discover and connect with actors, with pairs, and establish partnerships. It's a way to showcase your expertise and also find the partners for your experiments. If you move on, Christina, we'll see some of the members of the Twinning Lab today. You might recognize some of the logos there, and you'll meet some of them in this webinar later on. These are just a sample. We have 30 so far there, but of course, the more we have, the more visibility you can get for the upcoming calls, and the more you can get in touch with others. And we've tried to look at who are they and what are their the focus areas. So when you sign up to the Twinning Lab, you are asked to provide information on your interest, and in particular on your interest in the focus areas that the NGI Atlantic program supports. And according to the groups we have so far, there's a lot of interest towards experimental platforms, privacy and trust enhancing technology, and then going down through service and data portability, discovering and identification of technologies, and the other many other fields. There are some new ones that the teams are proposing and suggesting that might evolve also according to the new domains and the new topics that are at the core of the open calls. The majority are coming from research and academia, but we have a good number of SMEs, and that's the incentive, an incentive for us, since they are one of the main targets of the NGI Atlantic program. So let's have a look and see if you find yourself in any of these areas of interest or organization type. And how do you sign up to the Twinning Lab? It's easy, but it's a two-step process. So first, you need to register on the NGI Atlantic website. Some of you might have already done so. And then you need to access the Twinning Lab page and click the join button and complete a form that provides us with the information that we use to create your profile online. So please do so if you haven't, and in particular those who are presenting later on, take some time to complete this very quick registration. Moving on, we'll now give the floor to our pictures of today, but I anticipate that towards the end, if we have some time, we'd like to play a visual collaboration exercise with you, asking you to indicate whether you're interested in any of the 5 topics that are now open for grants in the third call, or if your institute or company fits into one of these and you already have an idea for a proposal in mind. Then I won't take you too much time, and I'll give the floor to the 2 pictures we have from today. They are 2 of the winners of our first open calls. So the first one is Nikos Fotheus, one of the winners of the first open call from the Athens University of Economics. And I'll leave the floor to you. And yeah, we're going to hear from them why the collaboration with the US is important from them, and what's the technical excellence that brought them to the among the winners of the open calls. Nikos.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So hello everybody. Our project is called Self-Certifying Names from Name Data Networking, and it is a joint project with the University of Memphis. So allow me to begin with a very brief introduction of our project. In this project, we are going to experiment with a novel networking paradigm known as the information-centric networking. And in particular, we have developed a security solution that leverages W3C's decentralized identifiers. Decentralized identifiers are, I believe, the next big thing in the domain of user identification and authentication. And they have received increased interest from big companies, governments, and in this project, we have integrated this security solution in a particular realization of ICN, known as NDN, which is being developed by a consortium of mostly US-based institutes. And our goal is to experiment with NDN testbed and evaluate the impact of our solution, not only to the security of NDN, but also to its core networking functions, including multi-homing, multi-sourcing, and caching. So what do we anticipate from this project? Firstly, when it comes to our institution, the Athens University of Economics and Business, we anticipate to gain some greater insights about NDN. So NDN has made some very interesting design choices that facilitate usability and deployment. And the best way to learn about these design choices is to deploy NDN by yourself. And this is what we are doing. We have decided not only to use the NDN testbed, but also to be part of it. And this is something that we have already achieved. We participate in the NDN testbed, and also we are still in the middle of our project. We have accumulated a lot of gains through this process. Now, when it comes to EU-US collaboration, ICN has been traditionally a great example of a collaborative effort. We have a very high quality conference under the umbrella of ACN Syncom. There is the ICN research group of IATF, and there are many other great joint activities. but it seems that European efforts have started fading out. So we anticipate that our project will be a breath of fresh air in this area. So related to that, our plans are to not stop our efforts with the end of this project. As already said, our end-to-end testbed nodes, the software that we have developed and we are planning to develop are great assets for us. And we are planning to use them in our joint EU projects and give to our EU partners the chance to cooperate with the NDN consortium, which involves many and great US-based institutions. Now, when it comes to the overall impact of our project, NDN and ICN in general is something big. It is being investigated as a next generation internet architecture. There are many big companies involved in its development. There are already RFCs by IRTF. So I'm not saying that it's going to replace the internet anytime soon, but definitely it's going to affect the way we are interacting with the internet. And Europe, of course, must be part of this. Also, our security solution, we believe it's a novel approach for using decentralized identifiers, which may have an impact beyond to NDN. So we believe that our approach may also affect the ways we are sharing contents today. So with this, I would like to thank you. Please do not hesitate to contact us by email, and you can visit our project website where you can find more details about our project.
Thank you, Nikos. I think you pointed out very well with where the strengths that made your proposal successful. And now I give the floor to João Fernandes from CERN, and his proposal is one of the winners of the second open call.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just share my slides. I think, yeah, okay. Fine. Okay. Can you see the slides as well? Okay. Okay, so hi everyone, and first of all, thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present the project. So I'm going to talk about the proposal that we submitted in the last call, as Sarah mentioned, that is called CloudBank EU NGI. And so it's a project with the University of California, San Diego, and CERN. Just to give you a bit the context, so cloudbank.org is already an existing service. So it's a set of managed services, a portal with associated services to simplify access to public cloud to researchers in the US. This is a project that's been funded by the NSF, developed by the University of California, San Diego, Washington, and Berkeley. And at the same time, they have a partnership with a company called Strategic Blue for an SME, an European SME, for cost management and optimization of the cloud. Essentially, you deploy research use cases on cloud-based resources, the typical AWS, Amazon, GCP, Microsoft Azure, and you try to optimize costs and management. At the same time, CERN has a contract with Strategic Blue for essentially the same thing. So as a cloud financial broker, where we are deploying a set of 10 machine learning use cases on high energy physics related to the Large Hadron Collider experiment that we have, machine learning and HPC as a service, on hardware and in quantities and type that are not available on-prem for us. And what we try to understand as well here is how to do research at the most cost-effective possible cost. So with this context and with already funding from these two entities on the project that you saw. We submitted a proposal, a short-term contribution for some help on this. That is the CloudBank EU NGI experiment with CERN and UCSD. And so the main objectives are determining if CloudBank can be used by Europe, because in Europe, as you know, we have a different set of legislation, namely GDPR, that implies technical and also financial and legal measures for the data processing. So we'll try to determine this, addressing these three aspects: technical, financial, and processing challenges. And then, if the model is adopted, try to expand the model on the EC level from CERN to other research performing organizations as well, that are using and adopting as much as we grow cloud services. So what you see there is the current CloudBank US instance. So we are using it to try, but this is what you have there. So normally what they have already in place is that research institutions, they make proposals for CloudBank eligible project solicitations. NSF decides for the funds and awards the funds. And then the cloud funds, or the funds to be used on cloud resources to enable research, are on CloudBank. And the PIs and co-PIs or user accounts can access CloudBank to, first of all, to track their spending and to access the cloud vendors that they would like to enable for their research. In this case, CloudBank already in the US already supports AWS, Oracle, Azure, Google Cloud, and IBM. So Strategic Blue's role there is partially users reporting, but also to invoice the cloud providers, and to, as I said before, to give all these mechanics for cost optimization for all the PIs. So the next steps, and it's the first short-term call. We are going to assess this model. Billing is an important aspect. We are doing this already, and deployments are happening already. There will be a workshop organized in March, April, where we'll have the first results announced, the results of lead researchers deploying machine learning and HPC as a service use cases. That will try to enable also the dialogue with the cloud provider representatives and with the NGI partners to understand more about the experiment. We'll have all this data protection analysis done on these three first months, and these will set our areas for investigation, how to expand the project on the next opportunity. And we intend to prepare as well a proposal for a future NGI on the third open call. And so, since we have only 3 minutes, I thank you very much. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate.
Thank you, Joao. Great. So after hearing the successful applicants, now we leave the floor to potential new applicants. So here in the list we have, I think Felix is the first one, the first candidate to pitch. Felix, are you ready? So we are now going to listen to some introductions of potential members of the Twin Lab and interested applicants, and the project ideas, if they want to share them with us. So, okay, I see Felix working. We can't hear you. I'm not sure if you're speaking.
You can hear me?
Yes, now we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Great, go on.
Okay, quick presentation of our idea. The proposal is on the topic of federated machine learning. We are from the Technical University of Catalonia in Barcelona, and my name is Felix Freitag. So what we want to propose is to deploy a prototype of a federated learning system that we have developed in a testbed of distributed nodes and make some experiments to understand better how we can build federated learning applications, and also how these applications can be run and operate in a distributed environment. And we think that, well, these practical insights could be useful for SMEs, because today federated learning, I think, has a huge potential, but it's not really used by the smaller companies. Well, we know that the big ones do use federated learning. There's Google uses it for services in the Android phones, and also Apple uses it for its Siri. So it is used, and also there's currently a quite big activity in the research community on this topic. But I think mostly it is fundamental research. So we think there's an opportunity for getting more practical insights, and this could help bringing more federated learning applications that are developed by SMEs. Then I think that the proposal mainly addresses topic 1 on the privacy and trust, because this is part of this machine learning paradigm. But also I think there's some relation with the second topic on decentralized data governance, and also on topic 3, there's something with discovery and identification. So we need a consortium of at least 2 partners, and we are seeking the US partner who could be interested in this idea and could be interested to join this proposal. From our side, we are a research group from the Technical University of Catalonia. We are 4 professors and PhD students, and our research is on edge computing. We've also worked on community networks and community clouds, and also we do some blockchain-based applications. And finally, this is my contact information. Thank you.
Thank you, Felix. We'll support you in the search for partners then.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck. Then we have Maria Lindqvist from Finlandia Biosciences.
Okay. The project's name is Locally, and the idea is to provide local solutions and help in form of workshop presented by an app. And our business model is based on sustainability and circular economy, and money will be earned from advertisement and patent of technology. We aim to educate and help locally in order to create a better daily life. Our platform can also be used by tourists. We will create the platform with the help of 4 main technologies: gamification, simulations, artificial intelligence, and open data resources. Our user group will be for 2 categories. One for suburbs and villages with a user capacity of 50 to 1,000, and for towns with a user capacity of 1,000 to 4,000 people in a neighborhood. Our platform will be done with the help of cloud computing, and it will be tested in 3 countries initially, in Switzerland, Sweden, and Finland, and hopefully in the whole Europe, and if interested, also in USA. And I have this domain, educateandhelplocally.eu, which you guys can soon see some prototypes and maybe give us some feedback. And this is a project presentation. Oi, no. Okay, I have a small video. Yes, there it is. And I can also add that this is like our aim, our goal is that we want to have equality in Europe, and everyone I work with are on the university level, but we have very talented people both in Sweden and Finland who they feel that universities are boring. So this would be like a bridge between those who don't want to attend university but want to, you know, get the same level of academic knowledge, and hopefully we can you know, have, because we have open university in Finland, and open university is a very good idea, but it's not fully applied yet. So I want to make it like a natural part of our life, like the way you eat food, it's natural. You don't, you know, start discussing, make debates, you don't make big fuss about it. It's a natural part of your life. So I want education to be a natural part of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Very nice presentation. Then let's move on, apologies, to Salva from Kerkops Limited.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. One moment here. Good evening all. This is Salva Kumar Ramachandran. I'm the founder and CEO of Kerkops Limited. We are based in United Kingdom. Our proposal is to overcome the privacy challenges when we enable VR-based tourism. Currently, we are developing a digital marketplace for VR-based tourism, leveraging on 5G technologies, live or bespoke, connecting content provider, 360-degree content providers to the virtual reality enthusiast. Our company is incorporated in 2017. For the last 4 years, we have been a successful R&D company in the field of identity management and emerging technologies. Myself, I have got a PhD in information science, specializing in information security and privacy from University of Rome, Tor Vergata, and I have got 17 plus years of experience in software industry and academy, and our team is well supported by 100 plus years of experience in academia, industry, software, and accessible tourism and business knowledge. So what the idea is, the vision is to democratize tourism. Even though many people travel across the world for tourism purposes, still majority of the population don't have an option to travel for tourism purposes. So there comes the virtual reality based technologies and 360-degree video enablement. So when we develop this platform, what we have understood is it's not just VR streaming. We need to consider information sharing, the privacy challenges, as well as our platform grow, streaming platform grow. We should also be able to expand it to have an information discovery. For example, if someone provides a VR-based tourism in Rome, people should be able to discover any retailers and should be able to order as if they are in their place. So we want to identify privacy challenges as well as overcome these challenges and enable for retail shopping through VR-based tourism. And this is accessible to use case scenario. And we have myself has been chosen as an explorer to collaborate with Stevens Institute to validate this concept, virtual reality-based tourism concept with Stevens under NGI Explorer program, and we have got some initial investment to prototype it, and we are looking for European Union-based partners as well as American partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Salva. And then Luis from UNED, yeah?
I cannot turn my camera on, but
I'll activate you.
as you wish. I mean, in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen.
Now you should also be able to turn your camera on. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Right, so my name is Luis de la Torre, and I am one of the co-founders of Nebulous Systems, which is basically, as I wrote there, a provider of and a developer of an IoT cloud platform, and also we also develop and provide some related software and hardware solutions that are used together with this IoT platform. So the company is called, as I said, Nebulous Systems. You have a couple of links there. You are welcome to follow us on LinkedIn, visit our webpage. The most important information about the company is that we were officially founded in January 2020, but actually we have been working since 2010 because the company is a spin-off born from the collaboration between two university groups that have been working together for more than 10 years now in these particular solutions that we are now commercializing since just 1 year ago. And even though we are a small team, because there are 3 full-time members in the company and 3 casual collaborators, actually, we believe we have already achieved great things. So the solution, which is called Enlarge, that's the initials for remote control access to Internet of Things devices, consists on, and first, the core part, the most important part is the IoT cloud platform. But there is also an ecosystem of solutions, and part of this is the related software and hardware tools that you can use to interconnect all your IoT devices and make the access to all the equipment, all the devices very, very easy and with all security measures and so on. And the company also provides services to do all this, to help our clients and so on to prepare all their setups for the communications. So this is basically the scheme of what we can achieve in the architectural view of our solutions. And the main selling points or the main characteristics are those that I wrote on the right. So there is a strong focus in our solutions towards security, so that data is not compromised and the client can be in control and in possession of all the traffic network that flows between the users and their devices and so on. It also allows collaborative access to the different equipment, sensors, actuators, and so on. So you can have group and teams working with the same devices. You also have management facilities and also tools to control the access, monitor, and so on. It makes everything very accessible because you have web access to everything. So you do not have to install a client software in the user device. And we have a strong focus also on learning, because this can be applied to many fields, but right now we are focusing mostly on learning to educational laboratories in universities, vocational educational centers, also for research laboratories. So this is just a very simple example of one of the laboratories, a teaching laboratory actually, running with our platform and with the tools that we provide to develop the control applications. And basically what we need for internal collaboration and in this project that we would like to propose for the third call is we look for a variety of partners actually. Well, first we are looking for a US partner first, because we need to cover that part to comply with the requirements, and we will be happy to have either universities or vocational learning centers for putting these remote labs, these laboratories working. But we could also work with companies that would like to apply this in a industry 4.0 context, or even with local administrations or governments for smart cities applications, which is also one of the applications of all this technology. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Luis. And last but not least today is Catherine from the Open Earth Foundation.
We have Alina too.
Sorry?
We also have Alina.
Oh, sorry. So we have two, yes. And Catherine.
Alina can go first if she likes. It's totally fine by me.
Sure, no worries. However you like. Thank you very much. Okay, then I kick it off myself first. Okay, wait 1 second. I have to share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, I'm Alina. I'm part of the Open Air Cloud, Managing Director of Open Air Cloud Europe and Director of Communications of Open Air Cloud Association. We, the Open Air Cloud Europe, which is a GOG, and it's our European branch of the Open Air Cloud Association, which has been founded last year. We are a global nonprofit organization founded, our mother organization was founded in 2018, basically with the mission of driving the development of open and interoperable spatial computing technology data standards to connect the real and the digital worlds. One of our Open Air Clouds project is the Open Spatial Computing Platform and its implementation and test beds. Currently, we have kicked off 2 test beds of our reference implementation of the decentralized interoperable spatial computing platform, which are located in Bari, Italy, and Helsinki, Finland. Both are hosted from one of our partners. Bari is hosted by Augmented City, and Finland, Helsinki, is hosted by Immersal. So yeah, this figure in the center, you see a rectangle, which basically the major of our open spatial computing technology components. The interaction sequence between a user's agent running on a client's device like a smartphone, or in the near future, an AR displayed device. And the platform is represented by a number of questions in the figure. At this time, and specifically focused on the third call, at this time we're seeking partners to assist us in 3 ways: to set up an open spatial computing platform implementation for testing in places not covered by one of our existing test beds, for instance, Bari or Helsinki, potentially on servers and networks with features that we have not previously tested, for example, 5G security, cloud rendering, cloud-based localization. To assist the OpenAI Cloud in specifying additional features and technology components, we seek to add to our other testbeds and to populate a local geozone spatial index with static or dynamic content, which can be discovered using the Open Spatial Computing Content Discovery Service. In order to receive and support of the NGI Atlantic project, which we recently joined, the Twinning Lab platform, we are using today's meeting to explore the possibilities to team up with any one of you today joining us in the call or other members of the platform, to conduct one or more experiments on topics of mutual interest. We believe that a strong partnership could be based on the implementations of the open spatial computing components developed by us, the OpenAI Cloud, and on servers, specifically edge computing resources of our testbeds and validation of our current architecture and contributions by you to our partially specified components. We are looking forward to any of you reaching out. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact us or visit our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alina.
Alina, if I could just quickly mention, I think I might have already mentioned to you that RINSI, the University of North Carolina, are involved in the Future Cloud Platform project of the, or one of the Future Cloud Platform projects of the NSF, and they are part of the Twinning Lab already. So if you have some difficulties in reaching them, because I know they're very busy, they are also coordinating the Fabric platform for the NSF. Just let me know, and then we can try to facilitate an introduction to them for you.
Thank you very much, Jim. I really appreciate it.
Okay. And that goes for others as well. If you have problems reaching the US people, sometimes it's difficult for them to get back straight away. And maybe if they get poked a little bit by us, it might work.
Thank you, Jim. Catherine, last minute for you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I am doing a slightly different pitch because I want to more introduce Open Earth Foundation, as well as the integrated projects that we're working on, because we're looking for sort of collaboration and funding in and around the integration of those projects, as well as the scaling. So Open Earth Foundation is a research and deployment nonprofit based in California. And we are driven by 3 core inputs: systems perspective, emerging digital technologies, sort of across the board, collaboration and open platforms. And we actually have emerged from the MIT Media Lab and the Yale Open Labs, which was founded by Martin Weinstein, the director. And I myself actually have been in Washington for 3 years after working in Switzerland for the last 15, including as a lead for the EU's EIT Climate Kick. And we have a really robust team that we're bringing in. And I mention the team because we come from a diverse background, and the skill set is really across the board. So in terms of scaling up projects and opportunities, and we operate on a team basis. So we focus on actual radical collaboration for all of our technological projects and integration projects. So right now, this is just a sample of some of the initiatives and partners that we have. I want to then just provide a sampling of the highlighted projects that we have sort of merged from the various labs under the umbrella of Open Earth Foundation, which includes the Open Climate, Global Climate Accounting System and Platform, an open collaborathon platform, which was actually used to build out parts of the robust accounting system, open solar and open finance, as well as an open academy. And our next steps are also for the Earth Digital Twin, which is one of the EU priorities that was announced with the Green New Deal. Now, I have in the deck a sample of the architecture of the actual climate accounting system, which is an end-to-end digital linking of the financial instruments with the on-the-ground projects, which will drive the financial automation with sensors and digital currencies. And this is just a sample of sort of the overall architecture. We're also working with the World Bank on the warehouse initiative, which will be linked into this, as well as with the BIS, it's a Bank of International Settlements on a potential green bond, again, linked between this and our solar project. As part of our overall systemic build, we're also working on a North American energy certification system, again, harnessing blockchain, MRV, and digital technologies to provide that verification of third-party certification in energy projects. And we're also then, this links into the open finance and open solar segment of our operations, which is, we've heard a lot about peer-to-peer solar, but a lot of these have failed to scale because they're fragmented and not linked into renewable energy certificates or into carbon markets, and we're solving for that as well. So the bottom-up community project finance automation, along with the climate bond module from the top down. And these are issues that I've sort of built out in previous roles as well. As part of the process, we've also built out the Open Climate Collaborathon, but this Collaborathon platform actually allows us to use it for other prompts for technical builds. And it's very different from a hackathon style because it's basically about networks and nodes around the world working together on specific prompts by stakeholders for architectural and digital issues that they're facing. And building over time. So we have a series of sessions over a year, 2 years, 3-year period that builds out those architectural solutions that you're seeing. And the next step for us is sort of the integration and further collaboration of these across sort of systemic perspective. So while we're building out specific pilots and projects, we're also looking to integrate and to scale up those solutions and replicate those solutions. So this is the organizational structure of the Open Earth Foundation, and we're looking for partners and funding opportunities for any one of those projects, as well as for the overall foundational initiatives that we're working on. We have a website up and running and a Prezi as well, where we can go into the specific technical details on all of these builds. So sorry, that's wanted to say thank you very much and looking forward to being in touch.
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you all. And we are now reaching the end of our event, but before you leave, I'll ask Christina to guide you through a tool that we are going to use and to ask you to leave your interest there towards the current topics of the NGI open calls.
Thank you, Sarah. Can I ask Ruben, can you or you can share the screen because I'm having some issues. Sorry for this.
Yes, sure. Hello everyone. I will post the link on the chat.
Yeah, here is the link you can join. It's an easy tool. I can also share the screen if you have any issues.
Oh, no, I can share, no worries.
Okay, good.
Just give me 1 second because I have... And Chrome, here we go. Here we go.
I think
Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see the, okay.
Yeah. I think some have already joined, by the way. So it's a very simple tool called Mural. And as Ruben is showing, by clicking on the left side, yeah, you can see some post-its.
So here on the left, you have all the tools. You can like zoom in and zoom out if just to adjust the view of the mural. And here on the left, you have several tools to add your like information. So basically what we normally use is text on all these sticky notes. And if you see on the right, we have added like the 5 topics of the third open call. And what we would like from you is from next to each of the topic to add the like just the name of your organization and a brief, very short description of your idea for that topic. And for those of you who also like would like to see other kind of topics for the future open calls, we have here in the last row space to